Oop. Which one do you want? That one. Fish. I'm really glad we got fish today because I have a brand new Ohuhu sketchbook, 30 sheets. I haven't used one of these before, so I'm really excited to try it. Comes with this nice plastic liner to protect your pages. It's officially the next day. Nails are did. That gave me so much anxiety that I had to take a break. We are going to tackle the fear of the blank page by doing one of my favorite things, which is starting in the back. I like to write my goals for the sketchbook in the back of the sketchbook, and that way when I get to the last page, it's already done. I need to trick myself to finish my sketchbooks. The other thing is that even though this is an Ohuhu sketchbook, I don't actually own any Ohuhu markers, so we are going to be using my Tombows. But first, we need to write down our goals. So on this last page, I'm not really worried about decorating it. I do like this little flower that came on the notebook, so I think I'll incorporate it. There we go. Now I'm gonna write down my goals. So the first goal is always the most important goal. Be brave. This is a brand new sketchbook. It's paper I've never used before. It's a medium I'm not familiar with. This is essential to me finishing the sketchbook. Now, the second hardest thing, using color. I tend to just sketch in graphite or black and white pen, and I really shy away from color because I don't understand color theory. And we're going to change that. We are going to embrace color in this sketchbook. And now the final goal for the sketchbook. Finish this sketchbook. Simple, obtainable goals. Now I know what the purpose of this sketchbook is. It's to help me get over my fear of the blank page. It's to help me use colors more, specifically with markers, because this is marker paper. And to make sure I hold myself to these first two, I need to finish the sketchbook. So there you go. Now we have the last page of the sketchbook basically already done. Now we get to swatch. And again, I'm going to be swatching in the back. And there we are. I wish I had more greens. I wish I had more of everything, but I think I have a good variety to work with. I suppose we should test whether these markers can be blended on this paper. Oh, what? Yeah, that's beautiful. I have a colorless blender here as well. What is the difference? Oh yeah, that's nice. Look at that soft edge. Look at that gradient. Ooh. All right. Should we try some fish? I don't know if you can tell by my nails, but it has clearly been a while. It's probably been a week and a half, honestly, since I was sitting down to do the first part of this video, and it's not entirely my fault that I didn't keep going. A lot of stuff happened, including Labor Day and a bunch of family members, but really those were all excuses. I was listening to that little voice in my head that was afraid, forgetting the very first goal of my sketchbook. And this is why I put this here. Oh, that's dark. What do we think so far? I absolutely messed up by putting that really dark thing down first, but that's okay. I think I have a solution. Well, I'm glad we tested that out in the back first so that I'm better prepared, hopefully. But I really don't mind it. It's in the back. And I learned something from it. So does that mean am I ready to continue? I really don't want to. So here's another trick of mine. I don't ever start on the first page. It's not who I am. I start on the second page so that I can mess up if I need to. Literally, if I completely mess up this entire page, I will glue it together and you will never know. and then I can try again. And then is my trick for you for starting your sketchbook. All right, I've already got this here as protection. I do have some fish picked out. I particularly like this one. I don't know what it is, but I like his face. So that's gonna be the goal. I kid you not, as soon as I sat down to do this, my neighbor knocked on my door. This is literally what happened the last time I got interrupted and then I couldn't get myself to sit back down. But my neighbors are so wonderful. They came over to take my dog for a walk because they love him that much. So they can knock on my door anytime they want. Something that's throwing me off about this paper is how smooth it is. It makes every mark go down very quickly, and I'm not used to that. I'm used to having a lot more control with my pencil. So once again, I don't draw fish very often. You can tell by how many marks I'm having to make just to get this sketch out. I'm also not a very fast sketcher. It takes me a long time to find the shape I'm looking for. I think that's why I've shied away from coloring anything for so many years, is because it takes me so long to sketch that I'm terrified of messing up everything I've just worked so hard for. I like all these swoops that this guy has. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Woof. Okay, that took a minute, but I think we got all the elements, and I'm pretty happy with the sketch, which means I'm terrified to go in with marker, but we gotta do it, because that's the goal of the sketchbook, is to use colors. Goodbye, fishy. Man, this really doesn't erase. Another thing about the sketchbook, it really doesn't erase very well. Wow, okay. You need a good eraser. What colors are we working with? Blues. What else we got? What am I doing? Okay, we've picked out our colors. Here goes nothing. I'm gonna try and fill in the dark areas with this lighter brown, just so I know where they are. I know there's no brown up there, but why can't I blur the edges like I was doing before? Is it just too light and I can't tell? This is my lightest brown, unfortunately, so that's gonna have to be called good. Maybe bring in some of these grays so I don't lose these lines. We've got some gray. Here. My goodness, have I ruined this already? Let's see. I am tearing up this paper. Okay, less layers. Gotta do less layers. What is this? I'm working with gray. Okay. I grabbed my lightest blue to sort of bring in some of these other tones, and so that I can color the fins without completely darkening everything right away. Some people do thumbnails, and to those people I say, you're very smart. I think he's getting there. He certainly looks as rough as he does in this little painting. Okay, I don't have the right colors for this blue, but I have colors that might work-ish. I'm gonna have to wait for them to dry in between because I'll never get these lines. Otherwise, they'll just bleed into it based on my testing. Here goes nothing. I turned off my light. Okay. I'm not talking a lot because I'm concentrating a lot. Something like that. Okay, I think this is turning out okay. Oh no, it's just lifting now. Why aren't you... I just put down a layer and you're not even mixing. The timing of being able to mix, there we go. See, that edge is so torn up. Maybe you can't use Tombows on these papers, or maybe I'm just really not good at using them. This is the dangerous one. Don't get distracted, don't get distracted. Blarg! We're doing okay. It's really hard to get just the tip of this marker down for these really tiny lines. I tend to always draw things smaller than they really should be for my tools. Ugh, that shaky line. That's okay. Stop shaking. All right. Be bold. Be brave. Can't get the... Okay. So the long ones are the hardest because I can't get the thinness of the brush with the length of the line that I need. So there's something I need to practice. Thin lines, long strokes. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere. It's at least looking like this picture. Oh, these pens, I swear. What is going on? Blend. Well, I gotta keep going. It's too late to stop now. Oh my God, it doesn't move. Look, I just put it down. What happened to the movement that I got so well on the back of the paper? We remember that, right? I'm not crazy. We all saw it happen. I was gonna put more detail in this, but the paper just can't handle it. And these markers just aren't blending anymore. They were. I keep losing all of my pens. Well, I guess I dropped the only warm gray I have into my baseboards the other day. I thought it was a color that I wasn't going to use much, but unfortunately, it's just the name of the game. So we're adding some more shadow here. Trying to get rid of these lines here that don't want to converge. Oh, I forgot the dark blue up here. Woo! Now! Can I get it? Can I get it? No. Why do I think that I could get that? This colorless blender is useless to me. So I think we're gonna have to call it quits, even though, my gosh, it really got destroyed in my attempts to put some color into it, but that's okay. I think this is good enough for the first page of your sketchbook, especially since it's going to be the second page of your sketchbook. Maybe I'll pop him in here as a, look what you did. No. There you go, a page done in my sketchbook. The very first page, or the second, if you really feel like you've messed up. And I'm a big believer that you don't have to fill an entire spread when you're starting your sketchbook, when you're doing anything in your sketchbook. Leaving yourself open to a completely blank page the next time you sit down in your sketchbook is never fun to look at. Sitting down to half a page, I can usually jump right in. So I'm gonna call this good because I spent a lot of time and effort on it. And it doesn't look like much, but for me, it's fantastic. It's way more than I ever would have done if I didn't have you guys holding me accountable. So thank you very, very much for joining me. This was fun and stressful, so we're definitely going to do it again. All right, bye everybody.